WACP, the place to be, for we are creative people, and some place to be here on a tour.
Okay, so good morning.
Good morning.
We are going to do a walk on this botanical garden. This garden is created for the purpose of education, for the purpose of showing the use of medicinal plants or plants that are used for medicine, and also to keep up the education of our plants that helps us in our daily lives, for especially if there is any problem, sickness, something that we experience as not doing very well. So we use plants to help us to take care of that problem.
Wow. So this is a curing adventure, an adventure of natural healing.
That's correct.
All right,
Okay.
then. Well, let's go.
Okay, so we I also want to say that as Maya people, we are fortunate enough to live in a lush forest
Yes.
where the biodiversity is great. Plants that are in many ways different from each other, and the knowledge of how we use these plants are very important. And so there are those people who have studied local medicine or herbal medicine and put it to use in a way that we can take care of ourselves. So with that, I believe we are fortunate enough. And some of these plants, if you want to, you can plant it. Otherwise, they grow all over the place. The difference is that you have to know how to use it, and that is the way some healers go about using their plants. They have to have that knowledge from from their teachers or from their guardians, so that they know what they're doing.
So you can't just look at this video and start doing what you're doing, because you got to know this and how much and where and all like so.
Yes, it's going to be very difficult to do that, because plants just don't happen to be that way. And then some serious herbalists also not only just go ahead and just take the plant. They have a certain prayer that goes along
Yes.
with it, to talk to the plant. I believe a connection that plant is going to be used for a particular reason, and so there has to be a correlation where, okay, we can agree basically. And so that is something that is also very important. So a person who wants to learn how to heal would have to come as a result of his interest, or maybe a herbalist look at this person and say, look, you're that person that can do this job, so you get your training. And so it comes like that, and so it will take time, but you have to go through the training. And so that's how people learn more about the use of plants as medicine.
All right. Well, I'm very excited. Well, let's see what we got here.
Yes. Again, I am going to talk about a few of these plants as Maya people use it for their purpose. There is no scientific proof of it, but the one thing we know is that when we use the plants, it heals us. And so that's what matters most for us. Okay, so we are going to talk about these plants as we use it for our purpose, not necessarily scientifically proven, but
Yes.
that's what I'm
All
trying
right then.
to.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'd like to begin by just sharing a few plants. Like over here, we have common plants that grows in the rainforest, the trumpet tree, Cecropia peltata, and this plant, as we have known it, is used to help us whenever we're in the problem of the sickness that is so common in Belize, diabetes. Okay, and the diabetic problem in Belize is very high because of our diet now, and I don't really know why it's increasing, but that's the problem. I guess like I said, it's the diet. And so And so going to the doctor and knowing your problem is one thing, but to keep up and maintain and control it is going to be expensive because you have to use a lot of insulin and medicine to keep you up. But knowledge has proven to us that there are plants here that can help to do the same job. For us locally, this is the plant we use. We take a handful of leaves, a good amount, we boil it in I'd say maybe a gallon of water for 25 minutes to extract the properties, and then you actually cool it. Then you start your medication, especially if you're the person that your sugar count is 200 and over, you're in trouble. So that's when you take your medicine. You start first thing in the morning, midday, and in the evening. And if you can use this for 30 days, that sugar is going to come down. And once it's down, then you become normal again. The problem is you have to watch your diet, and that's when you try to not eat any very spicy food or too much of the sugar, too much of it. You have to control it. You have to use herbs that are available for food here too, you know, like you have the chaya and you have the kalalu and those kind of green leafy plants that helps to make your system better and to control that sugar, so you would not have it immediately. Now, in the event that it goes up again after a period of time, you just repeat the process, and that is how you can control it, and it's cheaper and it works.
All right then.
Okay, so that's how we use this plant.
Yes, right there. Diabetes is number one. Okay.
So it's always important for us to be conscious about our environment and how these plants help us, and that the truth is you have to believe in it. You have to believe that it's going to heal you, because there are those that come and they want to use it for one time, and that is not going to cut it. You have to go through a healing process.
Right.
And sometimes then that helps, but if you don't do that, then you're not going to really get well.
Okay.
Here's a plant that my wife has always expressed to me is one of the best plants. We don't have an English name for it, but in Maya we call it ishtukulil, and we are talking about this plant here. Okay, and this plant is available. And when do we use it? Well, the word ishtukulil literally means anxiety, stress, and depression. A lot of our problems after a period of time in our life, we become depressed, and the depression, instead of manipulating it, it manifests itself in us, and it makes us sick. And that can mean anything. You start to feel like you're going to, you just have a problem, and you can't control whatever it is. And so sometimes people go overboard with either you start to fight and you become violent and you become crazy, and it's like that.
Unbalanced.
Yes. And the problem with that is that we have been taken over by this problem that we're not able to control it. And so we react different. And how do we do that? So, and it triggers other problems. So what happens many times is that people come here, family members have to tie them to control them, and then what you do is, the way I see it happen here is that you take a whole bunch of these leaves and boil a good 5-gallon water for about 25 minutes to extract the properties, and then you slow it down, or you let it cool down a little bit, and you want to use this when the person is still under that problem to begin, and then you start to bathe him with the water a little hot, not really hot to burn the person, but so that he can get triggered. And so when you start to do this, the person might give trouble, etc. But after a period of time, he becomes relaxed. And many times what happens is the person drop asleep for a period of time, and when that person wakes up now, he knows that he's somewhere else, he's in his right senses, and sometimes you have to give a little bit of counseling and then begin to repeat the process. Now, this plant is also a sedative. You try to put the person down so that he can get out of that mind to become more conscious and clear in thinking and be able to try to go back into his life. So many times the person that gets better would not go back again so easily. All right. So there's another issue here. Other people come and they say, look, I feel the ground spinning, or the ceiling is spinning as I'm laying back in my bed. So like there's an uncomfortableness there. So what happens there too is that they take the same plant, they create what they call a herbal bath to extract some of the toxin and the problem that is restricting your system. We believe that's an imbalance, and that things are not flowing in balance together in the nervous system. So you have an imbalance. So to do that, you use this to get rid of that problem. So that is how this plant is used. Sometimes you can take it in to drink, and there are times then other times you take it for a herbal bath, which is how it works. And so eventually you get over that problem.
So you have all of these herbal medicines right here growing on the property, and you can use them as needed.
Yes, and then we went further ahead, and my wife extract the properties of the plants and combine it with other plants to give it the same property, and then she used it to bottle it so that either in the form of a soap or in the form of oil. If it's in the form of the soap, you want to do your healing. If you have that problem, you just keep using the soap and washing yourself with it, which does the same problem over a period of time. Now, if you're going to use the oil, then it becomes an oil that you use to massage yourself if you have that kind of sickness, and you repeat this process until you use the medication, and it gives you the same result.
All right then. Yes, indeed. Okay.
So that is how we use this plant.
Yes. All right. Thank you for sharing.
So we move along. And again, plants are very much part of our way of life, and it means a lot to us. Now here's another plant I'd like to show you. This is very common, and many times we miss the point. But there is no English name again, but we call it in Maya Komoche, meaning some people can say it as stinking leaf or stinking plant, but the truth is it is a plant that has a high scented or a high smell. So when you crush it, and I think that because of not knowing the plant, people really overlooked it, but whenever you really want to get rid of mosquitoes, you take this and you rub it on your arms, on your face, behind the back of your head, to repel mosquitoes. And this is one of the things that we have learned to recognize, and as knowledge has provided, then what we did is we started to look for ways in which we can make the product. So you take this same plant, you extract the properties, you combine it with other elements or other medicine, and it will give you a very good sense of making insect repellent by using this plant and preserving it some oil, and you mix it with other not preservative, but like a little bit of alcohol to protect it so you won't get spoiled. So you can use it for a period of time. So that's how we make the insect repellent, and so you can just spray it on your skin. The reason for the oil is so that it would stick on your skin and be able to stay there for a while, so that the mosquitoes won't continue to chew you up and so on.
So insect repellent.
That's right.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay.
So that's another way we use plant. And then again, the power of plants is so amazing that most of these plants here do have a purpose for many uses actually. So we are just talking about the medicinal use of plants for us here.
Okay.
We also have a plant right here. We call that the Negrito tree, and the name of the plant is just a common name. The scientific name is there. This plant is used very basic. Sometimes you go out and you buy food along the roadside or on the street side, or you eat something bad and you begin to have diarrhea. Now, what usually happens then is after you start to get into that trouble, then you go and you take the bark of this tree, you dissect it or you chop it into bits and pieces, you boil it for at least 30 minutes or so, you cool it and you drink it. Now you take it maybe another half an hour later for about 3 more times, then your diarrhea is gone. Okay, so that's what we use this plant for, and that's how we believe that plants has the power to heal. So that's very important for us. And so again, there are other plants that works for the same purpose, but you have to know what plants you're using. So that is the use of that plant.
Diarrhea. All right. Yes.
Now as we move along, we'll skip this one, but we go to the next one. And our way of life is really dependent on the experiences of the elders and see how they take care of their problems. So here's another plant called wari palm, and I am referring to this plant right here. This one and this one and this one. So that's a plant that grows in the forest, very common. There comes a time sometimes when you are doing your work or you're walking or you're busy doing what you have to do, and all of a sudden you collapse or you drop or you begin to feel bad. And many times you drop and you were supposed to be healthy, but something went wrong, so you drop, and now when you get up you feel sick, and there's a whole lot of problem that starts to happen to you. Headache, fever after a while. Now, in our belief, there is a thing that we call bad wind. But when we say bad wind, we mean negative energy. Our systems sometimes are weak, so when it encounters with negative energies, then it manifests itself in you and get into that problem.
Okay.
And so you have a headache now. After a period of time, you have fever, and so on. And so what we do is then because we believe that this is something that we encounter, we feel that the pressure is in the head and everything else is happening because of that problem. So this is when we come to this plant, and of course we look for if you look closer here, look at this. This is the needle here, see?
Okay.
The spine out of this plant, and tradition, they say, okay, we're going to try to help you so that you can relieve yourself of that problem. So we will sit you down and we look at your third eye or the chakra point, and we say, look, watch me, and we go 1, 2, 3, and we puncture that spot.
Wow.
And then there's a spit of blood. You do that 1 or 2 or 3 times so that you can you can extract that pressure.
So that's like acupuncture.
Is acupuncture, yes.
Hmm.
That's what we are doing to help with that scenario.
And the needle point actually has the healing in it.
That's right.
Hmm.
That's right. Right here, see?
Wow.
Okay, so this is something that we use to do acupuncture to extract that problem, and then, like I said, after a period of time, you get to feel better again.
Hmm.
Now this is traditional way of doing things. So, but we don't use metal,
Mm-hmm.
but we use spines from other plants or other other
Natural.
plants, natural plants. So we won't be able to infect or hurt anyone.
Hmm.
Such, yeah.
So you don't even need to heat that up or do anything to sterilize it or
You
anything
just have
because
to
it's
wash
already.
it a little bit with maybe if you want to wash it with alcohol.
Oh, okay.
And then you just do that, and it's a one-time use. You use it, you throw it away, you find and get another one.
Okay.
We don't
Okay.
use this on other people.
You don't share it.
No, we don't share that needle. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So
then.
that's how we use this needle.
Yes. All right.
So we move along. Yeah, the plants are very important for us. Like I said, it's not only for medicine that we use it. We use it for food. We use it for we use the plants to do other hatch with it.
Oh, yeah.
So there are different uses of plants, and so every day we have used for plants for either to get food
Mm-hmm.
or to go and look for food,
Mm-hmm.
and get fruits. Sometimes you get the shoots,
Mm-hmm.
and you extract that and you prepare it for food. So different kinds of things. Now here's another item I'd like to share. This is the Philadendrum. There are so many species of Philadendrum that grows in the tropical rainforest, but we are looking at one of these. There are many other ones that use for other reasons, but this one, they use it for basically to heal a specific problem that we have, like a sickness, a sore that grows on the skin.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it grows right on the face, behind the ears, and it's a very painful sore. And whenever you scratch it, it just keeps growing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a hard sore to cure. It's maybe also equivalent to skin cancer. So what happens when that is happening? So you take the leaf, you put it in a pestle and make poultices.
Mhm.
You scratch it and you apply it on the sore. It burns, very painful, but it helps to take care of the sore. The sore will not be healed in just one or two cures. You have to repeat it for a period of time, and because it's a very hard sore, it eventually die. Locally, we call the sore bay sore, or some people refer to it as leishmaniasis, and I believe the sore is caused by an insect that takes care of when it bites.
Mm-hmm.
The protozoa grows and then it starts to affect your skin. So you really need to heal it by using a strong medicine to kill that particular sore.
Is that what they call a poultice?
Yeah, when you grind it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you grind it, then that's the poultice that we're talking about.
Okay.
And again, you whenever you redo your skin for dressing, you put a new amount and then prepare it and get it there so that it will take care of the problem.
All right then.
So that's how I use.
Yes, indeed.
That's how we use the plant.
Okay.
But again, this is only one plant that we use. I'm sure there are other plants that will do the same job.
The same thing.
For the same sore. Yeah, but this is what we know that works.
All right then. Have you ever had a situation where something that you used didn't didn't work good enough and you had to go stronger or something of that nature?
Yes, there are different times when that happens, and that is not only because the plant is not strong enough,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes there is also then the whole problem of spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
You are physically sick, but then you're also spiritually lacking. That is when you need to do a little different or an additional healing, where you have to have a little bit of cleansing, a little bit of pulse reading, and to make sure the person understand what is the additional problem, and then you might then get additional treatment along with the or with the herbs that you're taking, so that
Okay.
it can work better.
So that's like you need to have a physical examination and determine where the person is
Yes.
in relationship to their problem.
The person is usually, when that happens, when a person is not totally believing in what you're doing, he has a doubt in himself too, and so that is something that you have to work towards and try to work it out, and eventually the whole energy will turn positive, and then you can actually get the result.
All right then.
Okay.
Yes,
Now
indeed.
here we have a plant that is called Opal Tree. This is a baby tree. It grows bigger, and how it happens is that there are those people that understand the tree, and they would tap the tree. They would tap the tree and then leave the container there for a few days. When you come, you'll check that you have the sap of the tree. You're bleeding the tree. So you extract the sap, and that sap becomes the sacred incense that Maya use for various activities.
Okay.
They can use it for their Maya ceremonies, for healing ceremonies, for smudging, for cleansing, for doing all these different kinds of energy healing. And this is also one of the main ingredient that they use, especially if you are the person that needs a little bit of cleansing, that you're spiritually sick, or you're spiritually not there. So this will help to make life better for you. That
Right.
is the combination of the healing that Maya people use, besides the regular Maya ceremonies that they conduct, so that they can actually begin to well, they continue that connection with their belief about the forest and about their spirituality, etc.
All right then.
etc. So this is a very important plant. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. All right. Okay.
As we move along, here's another plant that I know we use for another reason. There are different kinds of plants that we have, and this one particularly, well, I call it, or everybody who knows about this plant would call it, a fishing vine. This is the vine that you use to collect, and then if you were going to want to do fishing, the way we do it is that we have to identify the river. Let's say this road here, or this trail, is the river, and that's the upper part, and this is the lower part. So I would take Kohun stack and block the top of the river, and block the bottom, so that whatever is within that
Is
enclosure
contained.
will be contained, and it will be for me to sort out what I need. So once I have done that, then we take about 7 men to go look for this vine, and take it into bundles and bring it to the river, and we start to beat it. We beat it and we soak it in the water. We beat it and soak it into the water, and after a period of time, 45 minutes or so, you'll begin to see fishes starting to sleep. They would come up on top of the water, and they just drop on the side. What I have done is I am stunning the fish, that I can select the ones I want to take for food at home.
Wow.
So I would quickly go ahead and sort out the ones that I can take home to eat. So after we have done that, then we have to get rid of the vines, and then we open the both ends and so that water can flow, and then the fishes can recover. Those that are drunk, they can recover with fresh water, with oxygen in the water.
Wow, that is very, very, very.
So this is a knowledge that is passed on. So this vine here is intended to use so that we can access other food, but we don't use it for our own purpose, like to say to consume, but to do other work with it.
Okay.
We use this plant. So
right
this is
then.
very important.
Wow. And this knowledge is like passed down from generation to
Yes,
generation, and
that's correct. And the sad thing though is that a lot of our younger people are losing the knowledge. They sometimes, when you talk to them about this vine, they don't know which one it is. Actually, there is a vine and there's a shrub that does the same job. Okay, and sometimes, yeah, the indigenous people would naturally know these, but the younger people now that are extending their knowledge in education and so on tend to forget the past, and that's something that we should not forget, because that's always important for us. So that is just the one other use of plant differently from taking it as medicine.
all right then. Oh, thanks for sharing.
This next one is very important for another reason. Spanish elder, or it's a piper species that exists again in the rainforest, and these are the ones that are almost close to the height of a tree. It's not and the shrub. It goes along, and if you notice the leaf all the way there, how we use this plant is, besides the spiritual aspect of it, you take the plant, you take the leaf, you take the bark, and you can take the root as well, and you combine it. When you combine it, it turns into like a gel form. And when it's finished, then we use that for a lot of the times for pain, for swelling, for rheumatism, for arthritis, and any swelling on the body that appears like something you hit against something and it's swollen. So it's mostly for this way. When we prepare it, is for external use. So you apply it properly, very well, and then eventually you get a result, especially if it's rheumatism or arthritis or lower back pain, etc. A lot of the times local people come and get their or they come and get their medicine and use it, and it works for them. Okay. So the name of the product is Pain Away, to take away the pain. So it's called Pain Away.
Okay. So do you have healers and people that do the same work that you do, that come looking for product?
Yes, we have people. Actually, I'll be honest with you, middle-aged people and older-aged people are the ones that are the customers that buys this item, because they have either arthritis, knee problem, lower pain, or some pain, and they use it and it works for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then.
So that is how we use that plant.
Yes.
And finally we go to the last tree here that we use for medicine.
So let me ask you, when you created this walking trail, were obviously these plants were already here.
Yeah.
But wow, that's got to be something, to create a walking trail and have the plants right on the edge of the trail.
Well, when we started this program promoting our culture, along with my wife, we decided, well, maybe we should create a medicinal trail that speak to plants that we use for medicine, and that we should be able to make the product and be able to let the the customers who are interested to use it and help them with their ailments. And so we get to work, and we started to route the trail and decided to prepare it properly. And since we have done that, we made sure that it's in the walking safety, and eventually then we put a surface on top of it so that there are those people who come and they don't want to make their shoes muddy.
Right.
So we throw these pebbles and so that they can walk without even getting wet or muddy. And we also did that because student groups come here and do the trail as since sometimes they are talking about local medicine or indigenous medicine when they come from wherever they're coming from, and they want to know how people use plant as medicine. So this is a good opportunity for them to see how we use plants and which plants we are talking about.
Okay.
So of late, while we were doing that, then the cruise ship decided to come here and wants to know and see plants as well. So we had to further prepare it for them too, so that they don't really get so that the access is easy for them to walk without having any problem.
Correct.
So the cruise ship guests come here and do their tours for a little bit and go back.
All right,
so
then.
it's also for everybody. We also have a group of local students that came and wanted to know what we do with our plants, and sometimes it's amazing to know that these children really don't know the name of these plants. They might see it, but they don't know the name, especially the use. If you're sick, that's something that some of them don't even know or don't even want to try to drink it if it's not in the form of a pill
or sweet.
Or sweet. Yeah. So that is how much it takes us to do the trail, so that it's walkable, it's safe to walk, and it's not far.
I noticed also that you made it, the trail comes back like a horseshoe.
Yeah. We did what we call a trail that you start from one point, and it's in the form of a loop, so that you can start from one point and come back to where you started. So
and it's not too far away from the...
And then sometimes we don't want people to go wandering and keep going, and you don't know where you're going.
But you do have additional trails that do go further, right?
Yes, we do have. That is mostly for other visitors that want to stop here, and they say, they want to see some birds before breakfast or before they go to the evening comes, so they do the additional trail. So you can still see some wildlife here. We still have wildlife here, and like birds, like agoutis, like we just had howler monkeys passing through the other day, and kinkajous at night. Even snakes are here too. So really, if you come at night here and do your walk with your light, you'll see a lot of tarantulas, insects, bats, owls. You still see them around here. So it also makes interesting for those who are passing through and have something to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's multi-use basically, and so that's what we offer, and that's what we're trying to encourage people to. If ever they want to know about indigenous way of life, this is one way to do it, and then this is not the only place, but this is one of the ways we use our resources to help ourselves.
All right then.
Yeah. So while talking about medicinal plants, and here's another plant that a lot of people just kind of like ignore it. Locally we call it hag plum, and Spondias mumbin is the scientific name.
Okay.
And this plant is so common in the forest. All right. And one of the first use is this plant again grows in the wild, and the flower of this plant you can actually collect and use it if you have a problem with sore mouth, sore throat, and even the flu or the cough. Okay, you can take the leaf. You either can boil it or soak it, but boiling would be the proper way, and you use it for that purpose. That takes care of the problem.
Now, is this coming from the vine or from the tree?
This one is a different plant.
Okay.
And this plant, this vine here is a different plant. It is the root of the Philadendrum,
Okay.
which is a plant that coexists with the big tree so that it can use it to survive as well. So there are three different plants here living together in harmony basically. It's not a parasitic plant, so it will not kill the tree. But there are those that are parasitic that would kill the tree. But
Yeah.
this one is just living in harmony, symbiotic relationship.
So they
Yes.
live together.
Yes.
Now
yes.
the medicinal part that you use is the tree itself.
Okay, yes, like I said, the tree itself, the flower, right? That's what you use. Now the fruit of this plant, which I'm sure common sense will tell you to, is that when the fruit comes down, we collect it, and so with all fruits that are edible, we collect it, we prepare it and make juice, or you can just eat it like that. What you're actually doing there is you're actually getting your vitamin C. There's no need to go and buy a bottle of vitamins there or
Yes,
whatever,
yes.
because that's the same thing you're doing. But you have to know that is what happens.
So this tree has fruit and flowers.
And flowers.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then that's the fruit now. Now the root now, you dig a little bit of the root, you make a little bit of decoction, and then you use that for when I'm sure a lot of people experience this. When you eat spicy food, man, it gives you uncomfortableness in your stomach.
Yes.
You don't know if you want to go to the bathroom or you want to lie down or sit down, but it's bad.
Yes.
When you do that, a little medication, you take 2 tablespoonfuls and you swallow it.
Mm-hmm.
In no time, it will flush you out. It will get rid of that problem that you always have, and eventually you take care of yourself. Now, you need it especially if you are the person who eat red meat, if you are the person who actually have that case with digestive system. When you do that, then you're cleansing yourself. And that's the root now. The bark now, you take the bark like everything else. This is one of the best used plant that is equal to a antibiotic. Okay, if you have diarrhea, you boil the bark, it takes care of that problem. Dysentery, hemorrhoid. The bark is also used to heal gonorrhea. Yes, and so that is something that has always going to happen, and the plant is always there, and the bark helps with that kind of problem.
Okay.
And so this is how we use the plant. But sometimes again people really have a doubt as to whether that is true or not. But we have seen results from a long time now. So this is something that has always been in use and will never change, because we always have the same problem. So long as we have the tropical rainforest and the plants, we can continue to survive, because the remedies for these ailments are always available.
All right
And
then.
so we are just utilizing some of that effort, some of the knowledge, to convert it into herbal medicine.
All right then.
And so we believe that those people who have come and used it can tell you that they have good result and that they feel better now.
Testimonies.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think that is how this plant will continue to help us with what we call wellness healing.
All right then.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So we continue to advocate and to encourage people to actually use it. There's nothing wrong with that. The truth is, we're not saying that Western medicine is not good, but I think it would be better if we can complement it so
Yes.
that it works both ways. No?
Now, a lot of the medicines that's in the bottles and the capsules and the needles and all, they actually use the same ingredient in that, but it's watered down, or how do you explain that?
Well, I think what you do is you need to extract the properties of the plant. Sometimes boiling can do that. It leaves you with the properties that you need, because once you extract the water, the properties get left, and that's the one that is important to make your problem better.
But here we have the 100% natural, um, with the full strength and everything. I mean, so if I was going to make a choice, I would come here rather than go to the pharmacy.
Well,
I mean, this is just
well,
me speaking.
it's the other way around for some people.
Yes.
They went or they go to the doctor and the doctor tell them, well, you're okay, but they still have the same problem.
Oh.
Now, after they've used that energy or that option, then they try this option.
Mm-hmm.
And what the doctor can't help in many ways
Mm-hmm.
ended here as a success.
Mm-hmm.
They take care of their problem.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying Western medicine, local medicine
Mm-hmm.
could complement each other.
All right
The
then.
problem is there is no recognition by Western medicine that this local medicine work. But that's just, I think, because they are so used to proving these things scientifically, which is very important.
Mhm.
But also local knowledge too is almost as good as scientifically proven too, because they have been using this over time.
Mm.
And for them to realize that this medicine works, during the course of time, somebody must have hurt themselves to find out, oh, this will work or this will not work.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a situation where it is dealt with properly. And the thing that surprises me is they know how much they have to add to this medicine. They don't do too much of this or too much of that, and that's when you get the result. And that's amazing how people have that knowledge to do it.
All right then.
Yeah.
Well, you can see the disclaimer right here on the screen. That's the official disclaimer for this video, and we will honor that and move forward. Yes, indeed. Now we noticed that you. Am I jumping too fast to go here and say that you have a healing center place where people can come, or do we have additional plants?
Okay, yeah, okay. So yes, I think you're right. Once people come here, some of them are kind of sick indeed to
Mhm.
move along every minute. Some of them come as far as the north and as far as the south.
Mm-hmm.
And some people come from overseas as well too.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they find this place, they want to stay and do their healing.
Mm-hmm.
The healing can take up to 3 days, 4 days, or 5 days. So
Mhm.
we have facilities where besides the center where they heal, we have a place where they can actually stay and take their medicine and finish. When that finishes, then they can go back. So we have that facility. But we do have a center where the healing takes place.
Okay.
You get your consultation, you talk, and you see what's your problem and what are some of the symptoms of what you're having or how you feel, etc.
Mhm.
Now once that is done, then the healer will figure out or will decide through other means to figure out that this is what you have, and that's when the healing starts. And so it's either for a day, for 2 days, or just that you need to take your remedies and go home and prepare it yourself. It depends on the degree of the sickness of the person.
Okay.
So a lot of people have passed through and used this place to do that kind of healing.
Yes.
Okay, this is the Kohun Farm. Now, again, this is very common plant.
Mm-hmm.
Kohun Farm, very very common palm. This is also a plant that is most used by both indigenous Maya people as well as other local people.
Mm-hmm.
First, the leaf is what is most important. The leaf is important to build the top of your house. Okay?
Mhm.
I was
Thatch.
mentioning yesterday that the tropical rainforest or the resources are out here to use it in a way that you can survive.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So the leaf we use to touch our roof.
Mm-hmm.
And once you touch it properly, it can give you a period of about 12-15 years before you can change it
I have to replace it.
to replace it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that is very important. So you don't really have to go to the hardware store and buy your roofing. You can come here and you do the same thing and you get the same result.
Home Depot.
Yes. Then the second most use, this palm here, we extract the heart of palm. And this is where we get the heart of palm for food, especially those people who believe in not eating meat or vegetarian people. And during the Holy Weeks, I'm sure a lot of people go and they extract the heart of palm. They prepare it for food, and it's a wonderful vegetarian food. It is used by a lot of people. So what I'm saying is, even if you don't cook it, you just want to break it open and eat it, you can eat it. It's edible. It's very nice. Okay, so food is very important for this plant. Then the third use by some, not all, those that still believe in tradition, is they use the fruit, the seed. This fruit come in big bunches. They drop piles and piles of it, and this tree is so common everywhere, and so you can go and collect it. And what they do is they collect it, they crush this and get the kernel, the nut inside. They go through about 10-15 bags, and they have a whole pile of kernel that they further break and they cook it on the fire. The cooking on the fire immediately begin to extract the oil. All right, so you cook it for 2-3 days to get the proper oil. Then you take it out, you fry it to get rid of the water, and you have pure Kohun virgin oil.
Kohun oil. That's some of the best oil.
It's very, very nutritional, and it's one of the best because it comes from a plant. And that this is one of the oil that is used not only for cooking, but then it stretches to other uses. For example, once you purify the oil, once you extract all the water, it becomes like this. So this is Kohun oil.
Kohun oil.
I can take this. If my skin is cracking and looks rustic and ugly, or my hair is looking dry, I can take it and I can moisturize it and make it look nice, clean, and shiny to supple or to moisten the skin.
You pour a little bit of that in?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. There you go. That's Kohun oil. It's beautiful. It's
Yes.
It's very important to know that is useful for so many things. So that's one use. So the other use is we can take it and use it for massages. We can massage with this oil, especially if we're going to do a fire cup massage. We can use it, and then it is easier to maneuver on the body of the person.
Okay.
So the other use would be if we're making insect repellent, we take some of this oil and we add it so that it stays there, so that when you rub it on your skin, it will not dry out quickly. It will stay there for a while.
Blends in with the other.
Right. So that's another use. But going back to more of my culture, if I don't have any electricity, I can take this oil and I can make a table lantern by putting this oil into a can and put a wick and lit it, and I can read without having electricity. So it's just a way of using the resources in a more environmentally friendlier way, so that you don't cause a lot of problem.
So you can use this oil to replace, what is that, kerosene or something that burns?
Kerosene. You can use this.
Wow.
It works.
All right then.
So these are some of the ways in which we use this plant. This plant has other uses, but those I'm just mentioning the ones that we commonly use all the time. Okay, so that's something that we continue to do, and I believe this is a knowledge that will never go away. So it's here to stay.
All right now.
Okay.
Yes. So the healing, what do we call it? A detox center, or what's the name?
We call it smudge house. Okay, and the smudge house is important, especially if you are going to be the person that needs the cleansing. You want to cleanse yourself. You want to detox yourself. There are a few ways in which it is being done, but if you're talking spiritually, then we have to do a little bit of smudging, a little like a sweat bath, where you're confined. You're going to observe this particular if it's the copal or if it's other incense, then we use it, and then we we let you experience it, and then after a period of time, however much you can handle, that's what you're going to take. And then it's the feeling afterwards. It's like you have gone to the river and took a nice swim, bath, and then you feel refreshed.
Okay.
That is how it feels, and that gives you more life, and you become more energetic, and you can see life like through another window, where after all it's not so dark like you think. It gives you a sense of life, and want to live, and want to do something so that you feel better.
Okay.
So that's, we have a little structure there,
Okay.
just to show the way we do some of the smudging, some of the herbal baths, and things like that. When people come here, when they are sick, naturally it means that they are not well. They're sick. So that person can actually contaminate other people. So whenever we do the healing, we do it a little bit away from the
rest of
the rest of the people. So this little structure right here.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, it looks like an outhouse.
Okay.
But it's a little hut, or it's a little house that is away from the center, but at the same time it's used for people to do healing. Okay. And I guess the name is here. It shows it. And what it is once you're going to be smudged, or you're going to take a herbal bath, you sit in here, you put this down, we take the incense, we put it into an incenser, and we burn it. We put fire there, and we put it in there, and it smokes you, and we cover you with a piece of cloth so that you can actually absorb everything. Sometimes it lasts up to maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, depends on how much it is. And that is what it takes. Sometimes it's mild, sometimes it can be intense, because if you're really sick, you need to get rid of it quick. Then we make you sweat a lot and get rid of that bad feeling.
So this is like a sweat lodge.
Yeah, it's like a sweat lodge. And this is just one of them. And sometimes we have to make a few more if we know we have a lot of people.
Yes.
Or maybe 4 or 5 people.
Yes.
So
All right.
so this is what we do. So we do this again away from the rest, so that we don't want to cause any problem, and that we are conscious of the fact that we want to try to be as careful as possible.
Correct.
Especially knowing now that we do have this pandemic, and we have to be very careful. So we are conscious about that and want to do the right thing.
Absolutely.
The only thing that is left for us to look at now are the shop where we have all these other byproducts from plants that
Wow.
and I guess maybe then Miss Aurora can show you all the specifics, and she can explain part of what we are doing here to finish up there. Okay,
so when we finish this up, everybody gonna want to get on the plane.
I hope because I hope so, because okay, here's what we are saying. We're not forcing anybody to do this, but we are offering a service that I think has tremendous result and very good energy, and really can help people through their life, especially those people that have gone through traumatic experiences. Maybe an accident, maybe a soldier that killed many people, and now it's been affected. He don't feel good.
Right.
Or those people who never experience a peace in their life. They're always back and forth, and always making trouble, or always they get into trouble for whatever reason. You should come and take time and take care of yourself, and then we use this to help you to make that life much better for you.
Balance yourself out.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So and there are people who are suffering and don't know where to go.
Yes.
Maybe this would be a good way to let
Introduce.
people know we're here. Yeah. So that's our whole mission here, to help people. We have a few testimonies from other people, and they were They were surprised, honestly. There's one instant when we were talking about that pain away, that tree where we make the pain away. There was this woman on the cruise ship that came, and she could not walk without her walking tree, whatever that is, her
Yes.
walking,
Mm-hmm.
and her toes for the last 15, 20 years is always paining her. And she has to take pills to make it better for her.
Wow.
She said for the last 20 years. I don't know how true that is, but that's what she said.
Hmm.
So I jokingly told her, why don't you take this to help yourself?
Mm-hmm.
She said, can this heal me? I said, you got to try it. It won't hurt. She said, okay, you know what? I'm serious. I'm going to take a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take it. I'm going to use it. In 3 months' time, I will email you to see whether this medicine works or not.
Or not.
I said, fine, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And sure enough, she bought it. And exactly like 3 months later, she wrote and she said, magic medicine. You know what she said? She said that the pain is no longer there. In fact, she's not using her walking stick
Anymore.
or trailer
Mm.
like she used to.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I need another bottle. So what we do is she gave us her address and we sent it to her.
Yes.
She got it. And she said, if you don't hear from me the next 6 months, that means I have no more problem.
Wow.
And I haven't heard
Have
from her.
mer-
Now, it's not so much that you see I can heal people. No. It's for me to understand that at least there's one person that we can help
Yes.
in her life.
Yes.
And that we made her life better. And that she's feeling good about herself, doing or thinking or talking about that. So
And-
that's how we do it.
And it makes you feel better to know that you're on a godly mission of restoring life rather than destroying it.
That's correct. It gives us a sense of our own success as well too. We're reaching out. We created this mission, and we hope that we can reach that target, and which is, in a way, yes, that makes us feel good. That is very good. It's a positive sign. It is telling us that we need to continue to do such things. So I guess that's
Because I know it makes me feel a lot better when I can come and do a video like this
okay.
and share this information with people so that they can know that this is real. It's not I'm just inviting you somewhere and it's a sham or a scam or something,
yeah.
but this is real.
Yeah, well, here we're honest. There are people that come. Indeed, there are people that come and they said they want to try to do this and do this. They've tried it, and yes, indeed, there are times when you have to speak the truth. This one is going to be hard for you to fix because it's already in its last stages.
Yes.
All right, so it's kind of harder to heal. So we have to make these people understand that it's going to be difficult, so that they know that it's not going to be easy.
Absolutely.
So we have to be honest as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Yes, yes, yes. Well, we want to thank you for this botanical tour,
Yes.
and we want to thank you for doing what you do. And I'm sure that our viewers will love and respect what they see and hear in this video.
Okay.
And thank
But I'd
you
like to
so
thank
much.
you as well too for
Yes.
giving us the opportunity to talk about ourselves.
All right then.
Yes,
Yes,
so I
sir.
hope this story is going to make more sense for us, so that we can, well, hope to see people come around, or
Yes.
we can help them whenever we have that possibility.
All right
Yes.
then.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
you, sir.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
All right.